Yeah, so we're still in the closet. You don't want that. Oh,
nope. There we're live.
Oh,
welcome back, everybody that came back.
Secret talk.
Bart's only got, thank God, Bart's only got 2 manga shirts. So this is after this one, he's done with.
You may see some more. Look at that. We got a hat theme. I like to say the psalm.
The psalm.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, introduce yourself. I think everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, Danny Whittington here in the Whiskey Vaults, and I kicked Rex out.
Good.
Just for today.
He deserves it.
Too much shenanigans.
Yeah, a lot of shenanigans. Fun.
What do we got, Bart? We got Glengoyne 12, and what are we going to do?
We're going to test it Whiskey Tribe style.
All right.
And I got Glengoyne 315.
And I've got 313.
Now we've said it, doing this for 12 hours, we have to moderate our intake.
That's
so
right. We're pacing.
We try to keep at an ounce or under.
That's right.
Per show. And I poured Bart heavy on purpose.
Yes. Well, the little guy doesn't metabolize as quickly as I do. Yes. Yes. It's all about the metabolization.
What led up to this, though, about a month and a half ago, we got an email invite from the Whiskey Vault, the Whiskey Tribe.
Yeah, they got big things going on.
Big things coming up in August. We'll touch on that. And they invited us down to come down and partake in their big day and a few other whiskey tubers.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a live experience while we're down there on our show, and that's going to be a blast. We're also meeting Roy. Can we say that?
Well, I know, and I'm sure we can ask who's. I know Roy. I can't even talk. Aquavitae has confirmed he's coming. Yep. I believe it's Bourbon Night. Chad and Sarah are coming.
Woo, that'll be great.
A couple more right now because I forgot to bring up the list. I can't remember.
Well, I think Bill, the Whiskey Dick Dictionary.
Yes, he's coming.
Yes. Yeah. It's DIC. We're not already offending.
Yeah.
What was nice though was you said come down, hang out, even do some live streaming from down there, which we'll plan on doing. But I mean, just tell everybody what's going on. Just give a little bit more information about that day and what's coming up.
And your school. I mean, there's questions I want to ask. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, stay focused. See, I'm not focused. I'm already unfocused.
Let's let him talk about August. Is it August 25th?
Off a little and kind of.
There you go.
So the first thing that's we're the new distillery that Rex and I are building, Crowded Barrel Whiskey Company. The grand opening is August 25th. And what actually happened was we thought we would get like 50 people. Maybe 100. And so we opened it up to that. And then in about 3 hours, we had 200. And then we went, oh, crap. So we upped it to 5 because we thought there's no way. And then we hit 500. And then we shut it down because I'm not even entirely sure where we're going to put everybody. So then we thought, okay, well, now we're sort of stuck because like 50 people, we can kind of hang out in our distillery and try whiskey and have a good time. But 500. And some people, I mean, we've had people reach out to us to get quotes for their visa applications.
Oh, wow.
So some people, we can't have them fly across the world, walk in. All we're going to have is a sourced MGP bourbon that we have for the first day. It's 3-year-old MGP. And we can't be like, here, try our drink. Have a good day. Feel free to go back home now. So we needed a new plan. So the plan was, okay, let's make this more than just us. So the first plan was, let's invite all our Texas whiskey distillery friends. So that turned into about 14 different distilleries are going to come hang out with us at Tuscan Hall and pour their whiskeys. So you can try our first source stuff, and then you can go down there and experience the whole Texas whiskey trail in one visit.
And I like the way you talk right there, the whiskey trail.
That's Texas Whiskey Trail. And so that's going to be Garrison and Balcones and Ranger Creek and Yellow and Nine Banded and on, Andalusia, you name it. So then we thought, well, crap, since we're doing that, making it a general whiskey thing, let's invite all of our whiskey YouTuber friends.
Beautiful.
So we sent out the general invite. Hey, anybody wants to come down? We'll put you up. You just got to get here and hang out. You can live stream. And at some point, what we're going to try and figure out is a way to give each of you guys a table for an hour where everybody knows you're going to be there for this hour. If they want to meet you in person, that's their shot. Other than that, you're just going to be roaming the campus.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. We're going to give tours of the tower. so you can get to see the whiskey vault and stuff if you want. The guy who's doing all of our mash and fermentations is a beer guy, Acapone Brewery, and he's going to be here pouring his beer. And yeah.
Are you guys live streaming it as well, or doing a component of that?
We're thinking about live streaming, like the view of the tasting room as things are popping in there, but we're not entirely certain yet. We haven't figured that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It would be cool if you even had like a live stream where people are jumping on your live stream and oh my God, yeah. But I know you're gonna have your hands full, so don't listen to me.
I'll live stream as long as I don't have to be in charge of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Hold on, just a second.
Hold on. Aquavitae.
We had a cowbell. We got super chat came in from Aquavitae himself.
So when the super chat comes in, we go around the world with the cowbell. You can never have enough cowbell.
That's right.
Well, that's awesome, Aquavitae. Oh, he's here.
Actually done. We've in the first hour we announced our Oktoberfest thing that's going on. We've had some people buy tickets for that. That's up on our website. We've picked up a Patreon supporter, several subscribers already.
That's because we'll do some giveaways as well during the segment.
So yeah, Bart, you had a good question though, going back to just Daniel in the school. Yes. I know there's a lot of people have questions, and you guys really exploded on the scene last year.
Huge.
Yeah. I mean, just from a small presence to just overtaken. It was really awesome.
Massive.
To watch.
Yeah.
But and when you guys first started, I saw, well, look, there's a school down there in Austin that they have. And I'm sure some people watching kind of just give us a general rundown of that.
Okay, so we started this school as to teach skill sets and the knowledge that we teach in the business school, which is Wizard Academy. So Wizard Academy is a business school for independent entrepreneurs. And it's been around for 15 years, working with all kinds of companies from as small as mom and pops doing plumbing companies, in Tempe, Arizona, up to, Google and Apple and Versace and brands like that, bringing people in. We train on shit, but good shit.
Well, right off the bat, Scott's thinking Bart needs to go to this school.
Yeah. So what happened was we teach all these things, and I was already into whiskey, and I sort of did an impromptu whiskey class every class in the evening after dinner. And we decided, you know what? No one's teaching somms, or no one's training whiskey somms, for one.
Right.
And I have a background in the direction headed towards wine somm and all of that kind of stuff, and got out of it because I just, turns out, didn't like wine as much as all of those guys did. And so we decided to start a school, and we just did. We're a 501c3 educational nonprofit. We're certified to certify people. So the class itself is about half focused on pure whiskey education, and but the other half focused on marketing, public speaking, event planning, hosting, all the kinds of things that make a good somm, as opposed to just somebody who knows a lot of things.
Cool.
That's the short version. So that's 2.5 years now it's been going, and or 2 years, 2.5. Anyway, it's been going a couple of years now, and we only do 2 level 1s a year, and we only let 12 people each one. So we're selling on about a year in advance right now.
Now tell us a little bit, because you refer to it as the campus,
right?
And
you stay on campus.
Yeah, but what did you buy, an old school?
No, this was all woods when we got here. It was 22 acres of woods.
Wow.
And we just carved it out of the woods. So now we've got it's split. So 10 acres of that is the nonprofit school, which is us. On that is the tower. It's the Engelbrecht House, which is 14 student rooms, and Spence Manor, another 4. And we're building a 3rd student housing house, 7 rooms, called the Lost Boys.
Wow.
And that's basically it. We have the Chapel Dulcinea, where we do over 1,000 weddings a year, because it's a free wedding chapel. Wow. And anybody who wants to sign up can get married there for free. That's our donation to the community in general. Yeah.
Very cool. Now we're going to do cowbell for Tom R.
But Tom R has a question for Daniel. He's got a question for you. He wants to know, what is your favorite compass box?
Right there. Flaming
Heart. Nice.
Now, I think there's some special editions that they do, Tom R, that are really amazing. But my go-to that you can regularly get, I mean, because this is not a luxury whiskey. That was amazing. But you can't get it now. So Flaming Heart, you can just go buy, and I think it's fantastic.
Beautiful.
Now, just on that real quick.
He's going to be opening. Yeah, I'll let you show it, I guess.
Yeah, speaking of one of the limited editions, we got Scotch Trooper coming on later today, and he wanted to take a look at the Muse.
Yeah.
So
I have that one too. Maybe not that edition, but is that the silver one?
This is the new one, the Muse. It just came out.
Okay, I don't have that one. I have the last anniversary one.
The Hedonism Quindecimus.
Yes, that's the one that I have locked up over here.
Yeah, locked up. Yeah, he won't even let my elbow get near that bottle.
Basically to keep Rex from drinking it all.
There you go. Similar rules to us.
Well, I think it was Curtis Pasquale asked a little bit ago, without Rex around, who was going to get the whiskey.
It's a thing, man.
Yeah.
See, Rex is what keeps this show from getting boring. For me, it's like without Rex, it's just like, oh, Daniel's talking about things again. Great.
Well, see, I keep ours boring and on track because Bart gets unhinged and off track, and I've got to bring him back.
Spider-Man manga.
Which is actually, when we first got started, I figured I would be the one going off track, and you would have to keep me reeled in. Why would you even
think that? That's not even. You thought I needed to reel you in.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you thinking? You've known me for years.
Now, so the Glengoyne 12. It's been a while since I've gone to it. Delicious.
They doing only air drying of the malts,
right?
Heated, and they're doing one thing I really love about them. If I remember correctly, they run their stills really slow, which is really bad for efficiency, but it's really good for constant contact with the copper. Right. So if it takes it longer to make its way through the system, then the longer it has contact with all the copper stills. There's some really magical crap that they're doing. And for such a really friendly dram, it's not boring at all.
No, very good 12-year. And we got real quick,
Sniper,
who we call the Sniper, Eric Waite.
And a question.
He's in California. He says, I have friends in Austin who are fellow sommeliers, including the master sommelier, as it has a very strong wine community.
Yes, it does.
How does the whiskey community and the culture compare in the region?
In the region, there's not really one comparatively. Austin's a foodie town. I mean, if it's not music, it's food. And at one point, my wife and I made a list of all the restaurants we wanted to try. And if we went to a different one every night, it would have taken us over a year.
Wow.
Right. And those are just ones that sounded good to us. Right. So it's insane. Right. And when you have a food town, you have a wine town. Right. Now, the whiskey community of distillers is growing like gangbusters. Yes. Really kick-ass community with a lot of really kind and gracious people. But as far as bars go, there's still only a half dozen really great whiskey bars.
We got to do a couple more real quick. First, Mark's Whiskey Whistle, but he already went off the screen. I have a boom of a day, guys. Nice guest also.
There you go. He loves your beard.
Malted in Montreal wants to see more of my Green Lantern t-shirt. Wow. I didn't even bring it.
Wow. You didn't bring the lantern?
Nope.
I'm going to be wearing the ladies shirt.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
Junas Tertinian. Ardmore Legacy. Your move, Daniel.
Oh, Ardmore. What would compare to Ardmore Legacy? Let me think about that one while you keep going.
See, there's your expertise.
Is this where he's wanting you to like make your own blend to compare to it?
Well, or just pick another one that I think.
See, that's the pro
that people like us have when you can turn around and look around the room for something amazing.
Yes.
How many bottles do you have behind you there?
I think we're crawling up to a 900 plus right now.
Nice.
Now, is everything in that room or right there kind of in your area?
Yeah, I mean, if I could show you, there's here, oh, you know what? Yeah. This will stay plugged in. You ready? Look at this.
Okay.
So you've got that wall all the way down to the floor.
Ooh.
Shit on the floor. Then you got behind me. Then you have the low wall, 2 shelves that run the whole length of the windows.
Nice.
Right? And then coming around to the opposite side, you've got another one. Floor to ceiling and a locked cabinet, and then you got this travesty.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's my office, right? Not quite that many, but yeah.
Is about 150 bottles on the floor that I just don't have a shelf for right now. So let's see. If I remember correctly, Ardmore is lightly peated.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of earthy, heathery, right?
Light to medium peat.
So I'm gonna say Deanston.
Dan E wants to know if you also have beard maintenance classes.
Probably should though.
There you go. He's out of Jersey. He needs some maintenance.
I need some lessons is what I need. I'm going to say go Deanston 12 for easy access, but the Virgin Oak is really good too.
Yep, we like the Deanston.
Because why not? But what happens when you mix Glengoyne and a little Deanston?
Wouldn't be a bad one at all.
There you go.
Let's see. We'll find out.
That's what we need to be doing, but we have to limit ourselves.
Right.
We can't do that.
Yes. We're 12 hours.
Yeah. See, I'm going to do this for an hour with you guys. And then after we're done, I'm just going to stay here and keep going.
There you go. Keep her going. Keep her going.
Now, you guys
shows up.
You guys do, is it a whole dry week or a 2-week period where you're dry?
Quarter for a whole week, 7 days.
Every quarter.
And it's just a way to touch base, make sure everything's good. And for us to have to eat weird things on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause you still post reviews, but you're reviewing, food items or.
Yeah, we did like honey, or we did hot sauce, but it wasn't really hot sauce. It was the most dramatic one in that one was not that spicy. So we're gonna have to do a real one at some point.
See, that's a genius plan though, because you have done that for years since I know. You'd be like, yeah, I'm not having a sip of any alcoholic beverage until blah, and you throw a date. And I used to go, why'd you pick that date? No reason. Made it up. Yeah. And then when we got into this some more, I kind of noticed the same thing. And I'd go, you know what? I'm going dry for a week. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed a fringe benefit of going dry for a week or two.
Yes.
When you come back to it, you do have a refreshed palate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I would agree.
And it hits you a little bit quicker too. Yeah. The alcohol does.
That's because you start off with the Elijah Craig barrel proof.
That's probably it.
That could be. V Rich is in.
What is one of my questions? Oh wait,
yeah, just for the hell of it, he's a thumbs up and a boom.
What is your favorite? What I like to ask, what's your favorite genre of whiskey? Like I say, mine is I love sherried scotches.
I said yesterday in an interview, smoky Scotch. That's probably my home turf as far as that's what moves my soul.
All right, right there, we could spoon.
I like a lot of other. I want to be the big spoon this time though. No, it's just one of those things where I love a lot of different whiskeys, but nothing gets to my soul like a peated Scotch.
You were speaking my language, brother.
Yeah. Bart's 6'6" though, so
I can still be little spoon
pulling off that big spoon.
Just curl up, Mark. Just curl up.
Yes. Now I like all of the peated whiskeys that are coming out from all over, not just Islay. But do you? Well, I found out recently we did a bunch of go.
I've got one that if you don't have it, then you try it when you get here in a month, and find a way to get it.
Yes.
It changed my life for non-Islay peated whiskey. Ailsa Bay.
Really?
I've seen that on the social media, but I've never had it.
Lowland. It's one of the newest Lowland products, and it's a Lowland peated malt, and it holds its own with any smoky whiskey you have ever tried, and not smoke for smoke's sake. It's got character and richness. This is the third bottle I bought from the UK and got brought over because I keep going, I'll have a little more of that one. But holy cow, get your hands on that one. Okay. You can try it here first in a month, and then we can figure it out from there.
Yes. Now I'm like bated breath. I can't wait to come.
Well, here's a question. So on Patreon, on the little short videos that you guys do, and you've been teasing, you're doing kind of maybe blending different whiskeys, different grains, and you're seeking input for a whiskey you're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
And you're asking about, or one of the options is a peated malted barley.
Yes.
Where would said peated barley be from?
We don't know. So what he's talking about is our distillery, Crowded Barrel Whiskey Company. Our goal is to become the first crowdsourced whiskey distillery in the history of the world, where a significant portion of what we make is chosen by the Patreon crowd at every decision point we can possibly come up with, right? And so even though right now we've got 13 barrels in there, we've got 12 barrels of MGP 3-year-old bourbon, which is a 75 corn, 21 rye, 4 barley. And we've got 1 barrel of 5-year-old Wyoming whiskey we're going to be doing a special aging with and do a single cask release.
Right.
It won't be a single cask when we finish it. So it'll be cask strength, but 1 barrel product.
That's
right?
that's in the Balcones barrels, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now, we're also, Deb, our head distiller, she's about to start distilling for the first time in our back room. So the question was, what does she work on first? And this is what we're calling whiskey quests, which is, if you want to get involved in whiskey quests, by the time we end up with a bottle, you will have been a part of deciding every step of the process.
Cool.
Right? And now you can only do that if you're in our Patreon. So that's all whiskey quests will go through there. The first decision point for us was we want to make a malt. So we just decided that up front. Let's start with a malt. Now, our 4 choices were Scottish unpeated malt, Scottish peated malt, American unpeated malt, or American peated malt. And so far, American peated malt has a significant lead. And the next step was yesterday, me and Rex sitting in my office going, well, shit, where do we get American peated malt from? I mean, I know Westland is starting to peat their own.
Dorothy.
But anywhere you research it, like Blacklands Malt and companies like this, they'll smoke any malt you want. But their listed options are like 8 kinds of wood. Right? Now, McCarthy's sourcing their malt. They're not peating their own malt.
Right. They are. And I think they're importing from Scotland too.
Yes, they are. Right. Like Baird's peated malt, that's coming from Scotland. There's a ton of ways to get peated Scottish barley into the US and then make a whiskey with it. But to peat an American malt, that's a thing. So Deb has some contacts with a malt company in Texas that we wanted to really work with because they're just cool people and they're doing cool shit. And I can't remember the name. It's like Texas Grain Company. But we reached out to them yesterday saying, hey, so you offered to smoke some barley for us. Would you be willing to be the first time you've ever tried to do it with peat instead of wood?
Wow.
And so if that's the case, there's a chance we may end up being the first person in Texas to malt a Texas malt with peat.
Nice.
You know, I would have to think though, paying to bring peat over because it's going to be fairly heavy.
Well, we can use peat is everywhere in the world, right? So
you not just Scotland peat.
No,
okay.
Peat covers more of the earth than anything but water. It's
interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, like all of the Alaskan tundra and the Arctic tundra, that's effectively peat. Right, so an upside of global warming is we'll have access to a lot more peat.
Whiskey fans,
yeah, because all peat is a location where nature's trash is falling on the ground, and the ground is wet enough that it's rotting in on itself, right, instead of drying out and disintegrating. And so anywhere you get soil content that's really wet, moist, and slightly boggy, and you've got a lot of trees or a lot of, that's all peat, right? You can go buy peat moss in any garden store. It's going to come from the US almost always, right? So that's peat. So the trick is just to find out where we're going to get the peat from, because where it collects for thousands of years, that changes the smoke flavor. That's why Highland peat tastes nothing like Islay peat, right? Islay peat has that medicinal iodine note, and Highland peat has more of the Caledonia forest in it, right? It's less medicinal. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Love it. See?
Very interesting.
Yes. Breaking new ground. Did we have another, was there another
super chat? No, there has not been a super chat. Okay. And Tom R. wants Daniel to help Bart understand what an American single malt is, because Bart gets confused.
No, I don't. Dude, it's so confusing. And by the way, there's no such thing.
Right.
That's why it's confusing. We're working on that right now.
Yes.
Joined a group of people who are trying to establish malt regulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, McCarthy's is in there.
McCarthy's is in it.
We've got Janine from McCarthy's
Yes.
or Clear Creek Distillery is joining us
And
later.
that's
We've
what
had
I've
her
been
on
asking
before,
for.
so.
That's
Yes.
what I've been asking for.
Ask her that question. She'll have way more information. But the short version is just, in America, it just means 51% barley, just like bourbon is 51% corn, which means you can call something a malt, even if it's got a crap ton of corn and rye in it.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, it's a thing.
Yes. Yes. 100% American single malt would be. Woo.
I just give you crap because you got confused every time you hear
I
the
ain't
term.
confused.
No, it is a confusing category, man.
Right.
Now,
It's like
it is our goal
mhm.
distillery to create a whiskey for every single category that the TTB has.
Ooh.
Because wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be
So that at any point you could come and do a TTB tasting and pick from any of the 30 regulations defining whiskey in the U.S. code, and we have an example of all of them.
That would be cool. See, I like that.
So your genre is peated Scotch,
Your favorite.
peated
That's my
whiskey.
favorite, yeah.
Rex's would be free whiskey.
Yes. Yeah. The whiskey that he was poured.
Woo.
What's your favorite genre,
Yeah,
Rex?
free, whatever's in the glass, right
there.
there. You can reach that bottle.
There's different kinds of whiskey.
Wow. Perfect.
I'm already done with my sample.
Yeah,
I
so
should have
finish
saved a
mine.
little bit for the
should we
end.
sign a few things and do a couple giveaways?
We
as
do.
We close
We
in.
should.
there?
Yeah, I hear we got a gift.
Yes.
While I was driving up to the tower.
Yes. You guys were the winners of the Patreon drawing that we did on the first one. It was a perfect lead in.
Together now. All my plans.
That is it. I need to see your Sharpie there. Perfect.
What's V Rich is asking, what's your favorite cigar?
Oh, it changes because I smoke one or two a day. But right now, my favorite line is the My Father series. And they have one called The Judge, and it's astounding. As a go-to perennial favorite, it's always going to be the Hemingway Fuente Classic.
I smoke about 8 or 10 cigars a year, maybe, and mostly in cooler
Yes.
cooler
You're a
temperatures,
cigar guy. I know cigars on my end.
And I got one for tonight.
You
to
look
enjoy sitting
real
outside.
cool when you're smoking it.
Oh, by the way, Tamar just asked this. Brian Brushwood and his wife Bonnie will both be at the opening. So Modern Rogue.
Very cool.
Okay.
Good.
Mhm.
Good.
School, they'll be there.
All right, so we need a question. Daniel, ask the people watching something that you've covered during this live stream. And the first person to answer after the cowbell from Santa Cruzin. Fantastic show and glad to see Texas in the house too. Thanks, Santa Cruzin. Appreciate it. Awesome.
What's $29.99 all about?
I don't know.
Well,
He's into
most mobile apps, you have
Yeah.
you can't put in what amount. There's like a dial that you have to use. So it's like
you
trying to get it, a slider. Yeah, and you have to try to get it
that.
right
Now,
where
that's a
you
good
want it.
answer because I've seen
Yeah.
2632 and I'm thinking, wow, what's
Yeah.
the meaning?
Most time those are coming. It's going to be from a mobile app where they can't put in exactly what they want to
Got
super
it.
chat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Daniel, though, ask the people watching. This will be for. Let's do the coin and the
Okay.
sticker together or
Good.
separate.
Whatever you've called it together, do it together. Go
Coin.
crazy.
This is for coin 315 and
Okay.
one of our Pete stickers
Bam.
autographed. Daniel, ask something that you've covered during the show here, and whoever answers it right wins.
Well, something about the school or whatever you want.
Yeah. So, all right. How about what's the name of the school in which all of this whiskey stuff was founded? Pretty distinct name. You guys remember?
Let's see. We don't want to ruin it. Anybody got anything? Jason Fisk says England here. We're watching the comments. And
While we're waiting, by the way, it was asked by Terry Dolan, do we have cigars for the grand opening? The answer is yes.
Wow.
We have branded cigars. Hey, there you go. Wizard
Yeah.
Cat. Somebody got it.
It's blowing up. I think on
We've
our
got
list,
Whiskey
Whiskey
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, that's what I see too. Hey, good to see you, Whiskey Jason.
Boy, there was a flurry though. They all hit at the same time, but we got Whiskey.
We really did.
Was in there first.
Yeah, it was like boom. We like broke it right there.
So he gets a Pete head and coin 315. So then for a Patreon supporter, and we've gained 2 now, so we're up to 99 supporters.
Boom. Yeah, I should check real quick. Hold on.
Right, so we only have like 15 minutes left, right?
I know. Yes.
So here's the thing. You guys can't do this because you have to be emotionally responsible. But I'm going to switch to a peated whiskey.
Oh, you're teasing me. You're teasing me.
But here's the thing. Right, just know, man, in about a month, you can come into this room and drink whatever the hell you want.
Wow. Once again, I like the way you talk.
So I'll be right back. Hang on a second.
Yep. Yes. All right. We will, Phil. We've got another Patreon supporters come on.
We've got 100. He's our 100th.
Yes. The 100th. Wow. Ding, 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 ding. Way to go, Kirk. What?
Hey, Siri, generate a random number between 1 and 100.
It's 54.
Woo! 54. Remember, you too. Come in. It's a great time to come in and support us on Patreon. You go to Patreon, just search up ScotchTestDummies.com. You can only compete with 100 people there for these giveaways. So come in now. If you've always wanted to support and you're not in yet, great time to come in.
Christopher Malloy.
Coin
313 and a Pete head sticker.
Malloy gets 313 and
he might be watching. I know he usually tunes in. I don't know if he's here yet today.
Good. Sliding in. Number 13.
Daniel had to go get another drink or something.
Yeah,
he
so
felt
here's
like
the
having.
thing.
There we go. Ooh.
If you've hung out in our tribe at all, you know that I'm about to start another civil war again, or renew it maybe. But there's sort of like Team Ardbeg and Team Lefroy.
Yes, we've seen that as well.
Yes, and so I was gonna say whichever one of each cult can mention theirs first, that's the one I'll pour. But before I even had a chance to go get these, like 4 of the Ardbeg cult said Ardbeg. So sorry, Lefroy people.
There you go. They call me Bartbeg or Ardbart.
Ardbeg time.
We've done a couple of blind Pete shootouts. Now the Lefroy 18, I picked out of one blind shootout, and the Ardbeg Dark Cove we both picked out of another shootout. Didn't we? Did you have it as well?
Oh,
no.
The Dark Cove is just magical.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the committee release is even magical +2.
Yeah, 8. God, that makes me want to pull out some Dark Cove, but we're not doing it. We got to go 11 more hours.
Yeah,
you do. I hope someone's feeding you guys at some point.
We've got snacks. We've got we'll order pizza at some point this afternoon.
We got some little beef snack bites are going to be coming in here soon.
You don't even have to refrigerate those things.
Snack gathering.
That's right.
You don't even have to refrigerate those beef snacks. I don't know what's in them. Right. It's probably not good for you.
No.
So I was going to ask you guys, but so you met on the force. How long have you guys been doing the show exactly?
Coming up on 5 years, October.
5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And what got you into Scotch?
My wife accidentally bought me Scotch, Johnny Walker Black, because it was on sale. She was on a girls' cruise. And she comes back and she's all excited. She's like, I got you a big bottle of Scotch. And I go, yeah, I don't drink Scotch.
Right.
I go, from what I hear, it's pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah, you weren't a fan. Now
since she pretty accessible.
Oh
yeah. But since she bought it, I was like, well, I guess I'll try it. And I was like, I know people just drink Scotch neat or on the rocks.
Well, you were also worried about all the rules. You were like, there's a lot of rules. And that's one thing we came out like, drink it the way you want, have fun. Yeah. The same message you guys said.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Exactly. Now mine was a little different. I'm a big history nut. I was watching the History Channel, and all of a sudden they came up with the history of spirits, and they did a whole thing on whiskeys from all over, bourbons and Scotch, and I was just intrigued, and I was like, wow. And about that time, one of our local liquor stores, they do wine tastings, and they were talking about different tastings. They mentioned a whiskey tasting. I thought, you know what, that's what I need, because I didn't know what to buy. I didn't know, everything seemed really expensive when I was first looking at it. So we set up a whiskey tasting. Scott was there, a bunch of other guys, and we did 2 or 3 of those, and boom, we were off and running.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And that was great. And that's where we were. It was funny because I think Lagavulin 16 was at the first tasting, and I was like, whoa, that's way too smoky. And now I'm like, that's not smoky enough. And so it's so interesting how the palates changed, because I was like, whoa, all I get is ashtray. Who would drink that? Now I'm like, no, more PPM.
More
PPM.
A lot of beer people take who end up just basically chewing on hops.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
Yeah. And so we went, and our whole deal was, even when we decided to have the show, it's like, if you and I, or if we as best friends can come on, do a show, drink whiskey, and if 17 people watch, win. That's
totally worth it.
Yeah. So we're like, there is no lose here. So as soon as we hit 17 viewers, we're like, bam, that's success.
Hey, let's do a quick shout out to Sean Nemo. He's in here. He's the one. He's having the all day. He had his buddies coming over. They were going to have us on the big screen all day.
That's right. He's got his whiskey group over, and it's a marathon for them as well.
Yep.
And I bet you they're doing more than an ounce an hour.
I bet they are. Well, we'll check it. We ought to do a live check-in with them at some point.
We'll check in at hour 9. And
you guys are great.
I love you guys, and at that point, we're going to ask for super chats.
Yeah, there you go. Now, if you like the History Channel, have you watched Mike Rowe's history of the Prohibition era?
I haven't seen.
Oh, it's so good. If you like anything Mike Rowe, it's hilarious.
Oh yes,
love Rowe. Go watch it. I'm also a total history nerd.
Oh,
one of my favorite channels. Yeah,
yes. Perfect. I will check that out. Yeah, Mike Rowe's unbelievable. His just him reading his mom's letter on Facebook.
Oh, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh my God, that was good.
He's one of my heroes. He's sort of a badass. If I had 2 people I wish I was, it was Mike Rowe and Anthony Bourdain.
Good call.
All right.
Just pointing out, I didn't even see you pouring the Springbank. Is that the 12-year cask strength?
Well, a lot of our people were like, what about Springbank? And the answer is, hell yes. Now, in the last few minutes, I give a tour at the end of every Wizard Academy business class, on the first day. So we do dinner, and then anybody who wants to, they're invited to come over to my office, and we do what I call the Tour of Scotland, which is an introduction into the 5 regions of single malt Scotch.
Beautiful.
And it takes about an hour. And in the tour, I always pour the same 5. It's always just as an introduction. It's always Auchentoshan 12. Followed by Deanston 12, followed by Glenrothes Bourbon Cask, followed by Springbank 12 Cask Strength, followed by Bunnahabhain 12. So, which is ironically, that's a weird Islay to choose. Mm-hmm. But I choose Bunnahabhain 12 because usually the people I'm doing the tour for are not whiskey drinkers.
Sure.
Going straight to Lefroy or Ardbeg, that's a thing. But if I can show them Bunnahabhain 12, which is an almost unpeated Islay, they get to taste the soul of Islay when it's not being overwhelmed with smoke, right?
Got it.
So that's kind of a cool thing. Now, when I get to Springbank, I always say this, and I'm going to give you the same spiel I give in the tour. Are you ready?
Ready.
I sort of described cask strength 12 as a sophomore philosophy major, which is just enough education that it thinks it knows everything.
There you go.
But really, he's just an asshole. It's enough education to be dangerous. He's the friend that all your other friends are like, why do you like that guy?
Right. Yeah. He thinks everybody's maybe a sociopath.
Yeah. And he starts fights with perfect strangers about things he doesn't actually care about. And if you don't have a friend like that, there's a chance you might be that friend.
That's a great comparison.
That is.
Yeah. And it says, and also it reminds me of my all-time favorite Scottish joke. And you're going to get my butchered Scottish accent. You ready for it?
Ready.
Everybody can make fun of me for this one, especially if Jimmy Legg is here, because he likes to make fun of me for everything. So a girl gets on the bus in Glasgow, and the bus driver turns to her and says, "That there is the ugliest baby I've ever seen. You should be ashamed of yourself for bringing a baby like that out in public. Wow, that was disgusting. She's crying. She goes to the back of the bus, and a gentleman leans over her shoulder and says, why are you crying? She says, well, bus driver up there just said the most horrible thing to me that anyone's ever said before. He said, well, you can't let them get away with that. You got to get out there and give them a piece of your mind. I'll hold your monkey. To me,
perfect.
That joke is Springbank, because even when it's trying to be helpful, it's still an asshole.
That is
we
perfect.
We just reviewed that one. It hasn't posted yet. It will, I think, next weekend, but no spoilers on it. So.
But I had a bit of the monkey. That's all I'll say.
The thing is, it's like the old guy in Up, right? You remember the movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The most heartbreaking first 5 minutes of a movie ever made.
Yeah.
He's such a crusty asshole that he's willing to like kick a Boy Scout kid off when his house is already 200 feet up in the air, right? But at the end of the movie, you realize it's just because he's got this heart of gold and he's actually kind and he's just heartbroken. That's Springbank, right? If all you accept is your first sip, you're always going to think of Springbank as sort of a fuck you whiskey, right? But if you give it time, because of all the sherry cask finishing, it has a heart of gold.
Very interesting.
All right, I'm going to give it time now. You've talked me in. Our review on that is literally already in the can. It'll be out in what, 4 weeks, 3?
Well, I think it's next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, it's Springbank's motto. You can sort of see there's some writing behind the writing. You see that reflection?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't read it probably from there, but it just says, fuck you.
All right, I will come back and give it time.
And well, Cocktail Maven is watching, and she says that's the best description of Springbank ever.
That is actually.
And she's coming up next. She's going to teach us how to make a couple of whiskey cocktails.
Yes.
I'll have to tune in for that, because a good whiskey cocktail is a gift from the heavens.
She did a good job. She knew we were the dummies. The kit we got actually included in orange, just in case. I loved it. You were like, look at that detail.
Before we're coming up, we just got a couple minutes left.
Leo James.
At the end, I want to try to remember to give. There's a lot of other whiskey tube channels out there, and try to just bring up a couple.
Sure.
That we're watching. You guys go check out as well. Aqua Vitae, Roy over in Scotland.
Love
if you're
Roy.
not watching Roy, go give him a watch.
Yep.
And Durban's Bourbon. They're newer. 2 guys, bald like me.
What? Great name.
Durban's Bourbon. So yeah, give them a look.
Or like me.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
and then
well, the coins, we also want to mention, we actually picked up a sponsor for the coins that were given away. He wanted to remain anonymous,
right?
But just mentioned that someone did step up and wanted to pay for the coins that were given away, which
got
is very
a hold
nice.
of us. We always give away some merch here, and he got a hold of us and said, I want to sponsor you. And we said, okay, what do you want? Nope, nothing.
Yep.
Silent.
Yep.
Wow.
That's it.
All right. Anything else? Tell us some more.
We got 2 minutes. My hat
2 minutes.
When did my hat get crooked?
I
think I did. Oh,
never.
probably
Usually I'm the one
head.
with the crooked hat.
I have no idea what you're.
Perfection, sir.
And Aunt Jeffrey E says anonymous donors are the best.
Yes, they are.
You know what we should mention real quick this morning? What'd you wake up to as far as Patreon goes?
I thought you were letting a secret out.
Well, we're getting old.
I was like, don't bring that up. We're still alive. What are you talking about? Big spoon, little spoon.
We had a $100. we had a $100 Patreon supporter this morning.
Yes, we did. Yes,
So-
yes, we did.
Well, we'll just say Chris for now.
Okay, well, that's what I wasn't sure. You never know if the name is out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, Chris is good.
Yeah.
Chris is good. Chris is great.
So, okay, I have a question. We got 1 minute left. I have a question. Where are you at on your Patreon right now?
We just we've got 101 Patreon.
Yeah, but dollar amount too.
About 1,000 a month.
Okay, if you hit 2,000 a month, what are you going to do?
We want to go tour. We want to go. I would love. Part of our goal is to go to. Go ahead. You answer.
No,
I'll get you.
I was thinking.
Okay, you were thinking, well, Islay. I love Islay. And if we've got the equipment, we even picked up some better mics that would allow us to do some stuff on the road. So, yes.
So, $2,000 a month. That's the goal, to get these guys to Scotland.
Boom.
That is extremely attainable.
Yes.
So anybody who's here who hasn't seen these guys before, Jimmy Leg, I'm looking at you. Get your shit together, guys, to Scotland, because that will make it fun for me to watch too.
There you go.
All right.
Me and Islay. Whew.
We got to wrap it up, Daniel.
Yep,
thanks for joining us.
We are on time. Thank you. Awesome, sir. Awesome.
We will see you August 24th.
Yes, I cannot wait.
In Austin, Texas.
Yes.
And we're going to hand deliver. We're going to hand deliver the coin to you.
The winner.
And I don't have.
You don't. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Oh,
I got it in.
He's already breaking the rule.
Sip.
I'm sipping water. I'm staying on track.
You don't want to close out.
No, I'm staying on track, baby.
All right, now we're
fighting and stealing and drinking, you two bastards.
Go lunch, you dummies.
Cheers, dummies.
Woo.